good, y'all? This your boy Blak G.82. Now, for this afternoon, I will be doing a quick album review, or more so, you can say review, because I don't think I ever spoken on this album I'm fixing to speak on. Is this first album, the official one, not the album that was released on Aftermath, not just Aftermath, also Top Dog Air'Scope, which was Good Kid, Mad City. I'm talking about the one that was released independently on Section 80 by Kendrick Lamar. And it's crazy. I just realized a while back that it was released 14 years ago. How much time has flown by? And I still remember the whole era and where I was when the album came out. Like, just like the whole vibes. And also, I just remember being not only just a freshman, also entering my sophomore year, because I was bumped down up to my sophomore year, and then up to when the Good Kid, Mad City album came out. And I just remember just partying, or fixing to go to a party, like have a pregame for heading to a party with the song ADHD, which is one of my favorite songs off the album, before heading to some party, whatever. And the song was about like being abstaining from drugs, whatever. I was doing a little something, and that might be safe for a live stream. It's crazy how we just, smoke on and drink on. That song was in the background. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I did like about the album and what I didn't like about the album. And I was listening to, as a matter of fact, I was re-listening to the album about five times in total. I had to listen to the album because as of now, I'm just been revisiting Kendrick Lamar's catalog, which is only 6 official albums. And I started with Section 80. I feel like it's a great start, aside from just working backwards with Good Kid, Mad City. And like, since that Section 80 is his first album, I don't know where this whole idea of being a tape, but it is his first album. I don't care who it is, who says what. And oh shit, it came out in like July 2nd. Damn, day before my birthday, before I turned my 19th birthday. And I think I heard it like months after, because I remember hearing Rigor Mortis and then Reagan era. Then I just got, of course, ADHD, because I had some buddies of mine that used to play that song and such. And afterward, I just came around to the album and started bumping it ever since. And what else I fixed to say about the album? Oh yeah, I was basically more so talking about my plans of doing a tier list for Kendrick Lamar's 6 studio albums. I'm not including his mixtapes, nor the Kendrick Lamar EP, nor the unmastered, untitled album. Those will be added on a future tier list. It's gonna be added on the same tier list, but it's gonna be separate videos. That's how I want the tier list to be broken down, and so then we'll be feel like I'm just overwhelming myself with just revisiting these projects. Just give me enough space to just listen to other works, as well as folks zeroing in on his official albums. And I'll mention what I liked about this album. What I do like about this album is the sound is very, very just uniform. It all kind of just tight. What's the word I'm looking for? Not just have it sound like it's bad or anything. It's unique, to say the least. It stands out from a lot of albums that were coming out back in 2011, especially in the mainstream, because the mainstream was a mess. Because aside from trap music that you had going on, of course, you did have more say that futuristic sound that was going on in Atlanta from like Rich Kid. I think Rich Kid was still out by then. And of course, not Travis Porter. Was it Travis? Yeah, you could throw in Travis Porter, but of course, you can say Young LA. But you got that sound over there. Then in the mainstream, more that was dominant was more so the pop rap, as well as EDM. Like, what I mean by pop rap, more so stuff made for stadiums and such. You know what I mean? Not much bass or anything of the sort. There's no grindiness to it. It's like it's just copy paste is made for like radio play and such, and appeal to all different audiences. You know what I mean? So this album definitely stands out, has its own unique sound, and of course it covers a lot of topics as far as the crack epidemic in the 80s, racism, and of course tolerance of medications. So it touched, and of course, not to mention, it kicked off the high power movement, which is like it was something that I believe Absol came up with, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to do some homework on that, see if he was the guy that kind of pioneered that whole high power movement, and Kendrick kind of made it when it made it public more so. Because if anything, I think both of them. You give both of them credit for coming up with the high power idea. And of course, it has this 3 part story of Keisha and Tammy, and which is split into different songs. And of course, has his Vice, The Poor Man's Dreams, which is another favorite song of mine. And of course, unifying people under said high power movement aside. I mean, which just looks beyond like ethnicity and socioeconomic background. So more so like, well, this ethnicity and such. Hence the title, F Your Ethnicity, and it packs it all together and very concise, not too preachy, but some of it's easy on the ears, and also easy to digest and easy on the ears, and over some banging ass beats, so you can just have on the background, just have it play in the background without having to skip nothing. And like I said, my favorite song, I did mention High Power, which is produced by J. Cole, which we should have had a damn J. Cole Kendrick Lamar album. I don't know what the hell. It's just, well, of course, obviously there's like of course there was mishaps with that album, but let's get back on this album. Man, J. Cole did his thing with that high power song and great outro. The Absol's outro, pretty nice as well. And Cushion, Corinthians, His Pain, featuring the hooks from the very melodic BJ the Chicago Kid. Of course, Keisha, and also Keisha's song. And I also another thing I like about that song is it's very heavily inspired by Tupac's "Brenda's Got a Baby." If I'm honest, I mean, because you could definitely because based on how Kendrick was rapping the verses and how Keisha ended up murdered based on the life she lived, and of course where it all started, like from life as a prostitute as such, from being molested at a young age and not having just a good home life that is like later to that down to that path of being a prostitute, and not to mention her violent end at the third verse. Very similar to, it has some similarities to Tupac's "Brenda's Got a Baby," because the subject of that song speaks on how she ended up having to like enter that somewhat similar line of work, attempting to sell crack and getting robbed. So very very similar to "Brenda's Got a Baby," because Kendrick Lamar is a big fan of Tupac, and he borrows a lot of his ideas and concepts from Tupac. So that's one thing I can say about Keisha's song. That's what I can say about Keisha's song. And for some reason, Chapter 6, I was playing that for like freaking 10 times, total 10 or 11 different times. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's just one hook, and just I'm guessing the person speaking on the little in a little bonfire coming in between the hook and the whole medley and such. And man, for one, it kind of takes me back to that whole time period in 2011, 2012 when I was listening to the song, and just the whole like whole wish I can just make it to 21 and everything. Just especially with the hook and stuff. Hoping we make it to 21. I was feeling that same way when that song came. That the song was singing for real, and everything else he was singing about. Like damn, it took me back to that time period. And aside from nostalgia, it's a great little interlude, like between Tammy's song and like Ronald Reagan era, which is a banger of a track. And I had no idea that what's his name, RZA, like had little ad libs on the track, like on the I think it was the part where we said California Dungeons. I had no idea that RZA did some background vocals on the song, because obviously Kendrick Lamar borrows a hook for this track from Wu-Tang Clan. Ain't nothing to fuck with. Like Kendrick kind of flips it like the Compton Crip niggas ain't nothing to fuck with. The Bompton Pyru niggas nothing to fuck with. Essays ain't nothing to fuck with. They all fuck with me. Bitch, I love it. Whoop-de whoop, whoop-de whoop whoop. And he kind of flipped that hook and made his own thing representing his hood and city of Compton. And of course, it was also Absol's ad libs added something to the track as well. And it's, like I say, it's very after revisiting the track, it definitely is a good callback to Wu-Tang, how they just have this bounce each other's ideas, give ad libs. When one member just rapping the verses, two of the members rap the verse of the song. Kind of very reminiscent of that track. Is yeah. And even before I just know, even before I revisited, I kind of always felt that it was kind of a callback to a Wu-Tang type of song, to that more so that song in particular. And of course, ADHD is another highlight of the track. And Soundwave, who's been his main guy behind the boards for each of his albums, came and delivered, showed signs that he was going to be that guy that Kendrick's going to kind of like have on his side to like produce all of his albums. So I understand. So it definitely showcased his skills behind the boards. And hold up, I mean, there's times I do like it. Other times it's like, not doesn't hit as hard as it did back in 2011, 2012. But nonetheless, a good little follow up to F Your Ethnicity. And of course the Tammy song and No Makeup, very good songs as well. Has a little storyline coming into it. It all kind of connects together. And my favorite song from this entire album, which is not available on streaming platforms, is Spiteful Chant. I have yet to revisit it for this review, but I just remember all the times I listened to it, and I've always loved it. This hook, like too many niggas, not enough hoes. Why are you niggas acting like hoes? Man, like that hook, man. And plus, it got me through some shit as well. That's one of the reasons I like about this song as well. And Schoolboy Q comes to a hard ass verse. Kendrick came through with some hard verses and a great hook. I just sang earlier. And I'm quite sure if I was to revisit it before the official tier list gets released, I might feel the same way. I guarantee it. I'll feel the same way about it that I did all those years ago, minus the nostalgia. But yeah, and of course, I can't forget to mention Rigor Mortis. And matter of fact, I freestyled over that beat. That's probably one of the reasons I still enjoy this song. And aside from the memories associated with it, just a great simple beat put together by Willie B and Soundwave. And Kendrick just spin his verses and have a slight hook to it. Then, doing this more or less the same routine they did the first verse, and just showcasing his skills behind the beat. You know what I mean, on the mic, and switching up the flow at the last verse, the last part of that verse, that third verse. It still amazes me to this day. It's why it's like another standout from this album. I'm sure people may disagree, but I guarantee if I talk to anyone else that's a Kendrick fan, would agree with me. Now, I'm trying to think, what's one thing I didn't like about it? Maybe chapter 10. I feel like it was not needed. I mean, it's cool for what it is, but yeah, it just kind of blended together with one other track. It may have been Tammy's song. It kind of sounds too similar to Tammy's song. And like now, as far as his unique sound, what it plays his benefit, and also somewhat plays to his detriment more so, because ain't too many songs that stand outside from Rigor Mortis and ADHD. And you can say Keisha's song is a standout as well. Like I said, the two songs I mentioned, like Tammy's song and Chapter 10, as far as the beat kind of blend together. So I want to know how anyone else that's not familiar with Kendrick Lamar's catalog outside of his mainstream albums would feel about it if they was listened to his album for the first time. But so they might be thrown off by how the songs have a kind of unifying sound, which may play his detriment. But that's like but I know for myself, Chapter 10 is like the only song I don't really care for. Or more so interlude, because it's like only 1 minute and 15 seconds long. And with some re-listens to hold up, like, don't hate the song, but kind of lost some of its luster, now that I think about it, from way back when. Damn, I even put it as my favorite song off of there, but it's the thing about revisiting this album is like, oh, maybe it's not as good as I remember. But like, I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't just look forward to hearing it as much as say ADHD or say Ronald Reagan era and the Spiteful Chant. Oh boy, I gotta get back to listening to Spiteful Chant. Man, blow my highs, but anyway, man, damn near all the albums, all the songs are good, and quite a few great, and also has like maybe three or four great songs. A lot of them are being good. A lot of them are good, and one kind of like mainly the interlude, chapter 10 interlude, and like Hold Up is slightly on the edge, but more so to the good territory, then more so than you know. So yeah, so if I'm not going, I'm gonna hold off on giving the official mic rating and as well as a star rating or any of the story from the 5 stars or 5 mics or like 10 stars, whatever. I'm gonna hold off to the official tier list. As of now, it'll be at the low end of the A tier. Low end of the A tier. I feel like it's gonna be right there. I also like to mention as well. He's tell that Kendrick Lamar is still experimenting with his finding, not experimenting, more so still somewhat finding his distinctive style is gonna make him stand out, which he will end up do so, and also changes said style and growing with it over the course of each album. So that's why it's gonna be on the low end of the A tier, and below Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. And I'm gonna have a lot to say about both of those albums, and not just from like a personal enjoy. Well, of course, my personal enjoyment of those albums will be mentioned, but also the objective, more so a bit of that objective outlook on it, and also replay value, which of course will be based on my own opinion as far as which one is better, or has maybe slightly better track listing or say better balance per se. So it's this one, but I know for this one it's below. It's gonna be below both of those albums. Still a very good album, but compared to Good Kid, Mad City, Pimp a Butterfly, it's notch below. Not that far of a gap, but yeah, it's kind of missing that little factor that made those two albums like more so like his best works. And I'm gonna hold off on what I feel about those albums and which one I felt was better over the years and what made me change my opinion on which one I felt was better, and maybe decide on one of the two being the better one and being his best album. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And I was gonna leave off on that. And by the way, I've been revisiting Good Kid, Mad City. I just got done re-listening to it for the second time, and damn, that album still bangs. And you can play damn near the whole album. You can add that to the playlist. Maybe you may have to find a single version. I might add the single add the single version of Swimming Pools on a playlist, so then people won't just be thrown off by the skit. But fuck it, I'll throw it in the playlist. Damn, I had no idea I talked so much about this album. Man, it's supposed to be a quick one. But anyway, that's all I have to say about the album. So hopefully you enjoy it, and stay tuned for the next video. And also hit that like button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button as well. This your boy Blak G.80 about to sign off. Holla at your boy. Peace.